Okay.
Not live right here.
Yeah.
We should be live at some point. I believe it'll be coming up any second now. All right, so we should definitely be live. I see the three of us, and just the three of us. That works.
Just the three of
No.
us.
Just don't.
No, that's not copyrighted. Excuse me.
Not
Just
anymore?
the three of us. Welcome to Longbox Diving. I am D. This is
Jay.
and that is
E.
E. So we are here with another comic haul review, and no news today. But we will be reviewing.
Or talking about my review.
Talking about Jay's review of Executioner Song. He just finished wrapping up
Weeks ago.
last week before. And kind of going into detail of what kind of went on, what we thought about it, the arc in total, what we liked, what we didn't like. Jay here has lots of opinions. E, on the other hand, has no opinions.
None at all.
So
Don't go.
this will be a very far-fetched, over the lots of stuff. So hopefully it should be interesting and entertaining, and hopefully we have some comments in the chat to kind of help us along with our review, because we are really not that good at this. Yeah, we're doing it for the fun of it. So let's start with.
Holy cow.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, no. They're falling.
All right, so
Half a short box.
I have just a short box to go over, because I have 3 short boxes and a long box over there, and that we haven't covered yet. Actually, we got 7 short boxes that we haven't covered yet.
Yay.
And I won't bore you to death with all those comics, so we'll just cover kind of the stuff I have here ready to go. I don't know if anybody saw my tweet the other day, but I actually tweeted out. Yesterday, I went to a comic book shop a couple hours away, and it had just tons of back issues. I didn't pick up a lot because I didn't have a lot of time. But what they did have was a set of like 5, about 10 long boxes up front, 5 on top, 5 on the bottom. And they said, but Halloween special, grab 5 for free. So here is my free 5 that I got from that comic book store. Hey, Rod, how you doing? All right. So nothing fancy in the free. It's free. All right. So we got Exiles. So Exiles number 61. You see Mimic up there. A guy looking like Colossus with Wolverine's claws. So that looked pretty cool. Uncanny Avengers number 25. Rick Remender. That looks like Red Skull up on the front there. I think that's Wanda right here. I'm not sure who these are. But very cool.
This one's suitable for Halloween.
I got a Halloween book, Frankenstein's Creatures of the Unknown, number 1, by Jeff Lemire. And it actually looks like he's killing Nazis there. So like he's killing,
Yeah.
He's killing Nazis back in World War II. I think it's World War II. Excalibur number 38, Wonder Man against Captain Britain. All right. And Excalibur 69. I don't know what she's carrying, but it looks really weird.
That looks like a stone statue, doesn't it?
Yeah, with eyes. I don't know. It looks like it's bleeding. All right, so those were my 5 free from that comic book shop. So if you're ever down in Melbourne,
Australia.
No, not Australia, but Melbourne, Florida, check out the what's that? Famous Faces and Funnies, I think, something like that. I mean, they had a whole huge back room of back issues, so that was cool. All right, so here's some of the older stuff I picked up this last couple of weeks. We got Thing number 4. And look at like Lockjaw's on there with them. Now, it's from 1983. Now, some of these things will probably end up on Jay's pull list, maybe.
Yeah,
if he gets bored.
I've plenty of comics that I need to read at some point.
We got the All-Star Squadron number 26. The All-Star Squadron number 26. So you got Jade and her brother. I'm not sure who the chicken guy is.
Chicken Man.
This chicken guy. All right, so Tales of the Teen Titans. Enter Cole?
It's the
Tales of the Teen Titans number 68.
It's the cousin of Hawkman.
So you got
Chicken Man.
Cyborg, the old Cyborg, like the Teen Titans TV show Cyborg. You got Wonder Girl, Nightwing, and Firestorm. All right. Justice League number 2. Justice League number 2. Guy Gardner, Black Canary. It looks like Black Canary. Batman, John, and I'm not sure who's beating him up right now. But hey, Comic Book Andy, how you doing, man? We're just reviewing some of our comic haul. We got a lot.
and eventually talking about Executioner Song.
And we got to fit Executioner Song in between. So
yeah.
I'm trying to keep my talking down so we can get to Jay's stuff because he's really worked hard on this. All right, so Action Comics number 621. That's good stuff. I think I got most of these at a flea market down in Melbourne. So Firestorm, the Nuclear Man, number 20.
Frostbite. Great puns.
Frostbite. I'm wondering if is that Killer Frost?
That has to be right.
I think that's Killer Frost where she tries to get him to marry her.
I mean, it's not Mr. Freeze, so.
No, and have you read the latest Mr. Freeze?
No.
He just got his wife on Frozen.
Oh, really?
Yes, and now she's turned her into a Mrs. Freeze.
Well, that sucks.
Tales of the Legion of Superheroes number 314. I like some of these old Legion of Superheroes. Of course, they're rebooting that. You see Supergirl in there. Brainiac. All right, and then the Karate Kid number 12. That's a 35 center.
Against Superman.
Look at the Karate Kid is fighting Superman, and he looks like he's sort of winning.
Man, Superman's just.
Was it Karate Kid was like a level 9 in the fighting scale, which Batman was like only a 7. So, I think that's how it was. And then the Warlord number 22. Here's a 40 center. The Warlord.
I mean, that's just straight up like a Conan the Barbarian.
It's like a Conan Barbarian. I mean, it's basically, to me, it looks almost like the same genre. But I've never read any of these, so I don't know if anybody else has read Warlord. But they had a ton of Warlord there. So I'm like, old comics, they're really cheap. We're at a flea market. I'm picking 40 centers for really, really cheap. So Warlord number 30. Warlord number 37. I don't know if that's his girlfriend or his wife. And that maybe his cat. And then Dial H for Hero, number 480.
Now, that was the one where they had like the rotary spinner and then you'd get a random hero?
I
forget.
There was some dial thing. I think the kid had the dial. And he's able to actually transform into a different superhero.
Oh, you transform into them.
But I'm also there's also a group of people, so I'm not sure. I haven't read these yet. They're in the list to read, so I'll figure it out. Dial H for Hero 481. Dial H for Hero 482. Look at this. 2 of them have dials now. I don't know where the dials come from. I don't know why they have the dials. But they're older comics. They look really good. they're not in the super best condition, but they're not bad. All right, Warlord number 2. Warlord number 2. I have no idea if there's any money in these, if they're worth anything. Like I said, we save comics from the bin of obscurity, right?
Possibly
I
sell
say that.
them.
And possibly sell them, make my wife happy. There is profit in comics. All right. Thanks, Rod. Number 5, Warlord. Stupid glare.
You know what I found out?
What's that?
But going back to Karate Kid, he can actually withstand mind control.
Can you really?
Yeah.
Nice.
He can hold his own against Superboy through like super karate.
That is so true, Rod. She may be watching right now, so yes, baby. All right, so the Warlord, number 21. Yeah, I mean, Karate Kid is basically Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
Warlord number 23. We're about halfway through this first stack, and then we'll get on to some other stuff.
Woo.
Look at it. It looks like skulls raining blood around him. All right, so Batman, number 310. Batman, number 310. The Gentleman Ghost. So I haven't read a lot of these older Batman stuff, so I definitely can't wait to get into this. Batman 304. All right, Rod, thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate it. Batman 329.
I mean, would he obey an actual verdict from a court? That's what I'm curious about.
The coin is spoken, and Batman is guilty. Yeah, no. I doubt that's going to happen. All right. Batman 303. Batman 303.
You know, Batman, Bruce Wayne is rich enough to just buy his way out.
Yeah, probably. New Mutants number 34. Look at Magic there. I think that's Warlock right behind her. And is that the Mandarin? Something to do with the gemstone. I don't know. Oh, there's the other mutants behind her. All right, Warlord number 20. Now he's got 2 girls fighting with him. He's picking up people right along the way.
Take this
I
wooden
mean,
sword.
Warlord Knight. That's weird. All right. I don't know.
Tattoos.
Can I even show this on screen? All right. Warlord 19. Not that bad.
If you have to ask that question, the answer is probably no.
The Human Fly. The Human Fly from 1977. Human Fly number 3. I didn't know this was even a superhero.
He has the ability of a fly.
Well,
and the attention
yeah,
span of
that's
1-2.
what the movie was.
He could never get anything
And
done.
I had no idea.
He would die in 2 hours.
Batman number 316 with a special guest star of Robin. Robin with a guest star in Batman.
Boy Wonder. Yay.
I wonder which Robin that is.
Short shorts and boots. Gotta love it.
Yeah. All right, Superman Annual number 11. I actually heard somebody talking about this the other day, and then I saw it, and I'm like, oh, I gotta get that.
What were they talking about?
This plant actually like changes your dreams and puts you in a alternate reality that you just kind of live in mentally for the rest of your life.
So like Mysterio-esque type, but
Yeah, but it's a plant. It's written by Alan Moore. So that looked really interesting. Then we got the Giant Size X-Men number 4, and this is in very, very bad shape. I feel really bad for this comic.
yeah.
But It is what it is, right?
It's funny. They're fighting Madrox.
Yes.
Which,
And Medusa's part of the team. And Johnny is down.
Oh no.
Madrox looks like a bad guy.
Well, yeah, and that one he is.
All right. So Green Lantern, Green Arrow, number 105. Another 35 center.
That's a lot of green. A lot of green.
So Green Arrow, do something. If Green Lantern dies, everyone in our plane is doomed. Well, Black Canary, you can do something too. You actually have powers.
No, what? What? No. Like the guy with the bow and arrow is obviously the one fit to say.
The guy with the bow and arrow, shoot the arrow out of a flying plane and stop the guy that's hurting Green Lantern. Not use my sonic powers at all. All right.
I know how arrows work.
Green Arrow, Green Lantern. It's the time frame. Girls had to appear slightly helpless all the time. All right.
Gold arrow.
Green Lantern, Green Arrow, number 97. Number 97.
Someone got a little Midas.
Well, that was his weakness.
Money.
Yellow. Yellow is a Green Lantern weakness. Do you know why?
Because he's colorblind.
That is not how it goes.
No, because Parallax was trapped in the Green Lantern, and Parallax is the entity of fear, and Parallax is yellow, the yellow spectrum. So once he was freed, which Hal Jordan's the one that actually broke him out, created the whole Parallax thing, caused a huge problem. They all had a weakness to the yellow. Anything yellow could break his constructs.
To be fair, though,
He's no longer weak to it.
that makes sense. If you how's a person's will dissolved is they become
Fear.
afraid.
Mm-hmm.
So
Green Lantern, Green Arrow, number 96. I guess you could be in the Superman movie.
all right. We need to mail in our
1977.
Applications.
Mail this Joker in. Let's get on the new reboot of Man of Steel. I'll be like a bystander. Green Lantern and Green Arrow, number 92. Oh, that's Sinestro. And if your buddy misses, we're dead.
Yeah, that's
Don't miss, Green Arrow.
Don't miss and shoot me in the head, please.
And she's like pulling on him.
She's helping him, man.
No, she's like, no, dude.
She's pulling on him.
That's helping him.
Stabilizing.
No, that's destabilizing. You want? Do you?
All right. Cole the Conqueror, number 2. Cole the Conqueror, number 2. We're almost to Jay's turn. All right, Challengers of the Unknown. Yes, he did. Challengers of the Unknown, number 87. I really did enjoy the reboot up to about 5 issues. Then it got okay. But Challengers of the Unknown with Dead Man. That's cool. Warlord, number 4. Savage showdown in the lost world of you took the woman I love, Diamos, and all the fiends of hell won't stop me from getting her back. Don't mess with the Warlord's chick. I don't know if that's an appropriate term, but don't mess with his woman, his wife, girlfriend. I don't know. All right. Batman, number 326. Well, until the next episode. Batman, number 326. He is fighting a dude that's acting like Evil Knievel. Yeah, that's Evil Knievel. Evil Knievel is swinging a chain at Batman.
Like for real?
The man
Batman's blocking it with the back of his
elbow.
Tricep.
Batman against Evil Knievel. And then another one that was severely damaged, and I feel sad. Last Days of the Justice Society of America, number 1 from 1986.
No ads.
No add 68 pages of all comic, if they're all still there.
We're missing page 17. It's okay.
We have no idea. I haven't opened it up yet. All right. So now it is time. Do you drum? To cover Executioner's Song. Now that we've scared everybody away,
Yay!
nobody is here. Maybe they'll catch it on the replay. But Executioner's Song. So basically, Executioner's Song was a hey, Immortal Big Check. But Executioner's Song was basically a crossover event story arc that spanned the Uncanny X-Men, X-Force, and X-Factor.
And
X-Men. So all 4 comic titles. And it basically pit the teams against each other. Somebody came and shot Professor X with a virus, the technical organic virus, and then took Cyclops and Jean Grey captive. Then X-Force was working for the government, trying to get X-Factor, who was with
reverse that.
X-Factor worked for the government, and X-Force was friends with Cable, and then the X-Men joined forces with. There was a whole scene in here where Jubilee is like, "I'm getting grown-up advice from a guy named Guido."
Yeah.
Strong guy. That was hilarious. All right, so take it away, Big J.
Sure. Yeah. Overall, when the art first came out, it was.
When was the art from?
Oh,
Do you remember?
I want to say it was late 80s. Give me 1 second.
I'm gonna say early 90s.
Actually, I have this pulled up right here. 92 to 93.
92 to 93.
Bear with me. Some of this I haven't read in 2 months, so I pulled up a lot of the information.
It was like basically right after the X-Men title launched with Chris Claremont back in the early 90s, right?
I mean, like it's 14, so year after.
Yeah,
but the idea was we'd find out who Cable really was, and who Strife really was, and we really don't get it in this arc. We get hints, but with hindsight, I think it makes it better because you know who Cable is, and so the fight's more dramatic. But overall, it's a story about how Strife is dealing with his issues, while the X-Men are trying to find out who actually took Scott and Jean. And that's most of the arc.
So most of the arc is it boils down to somebody shot Professor X.
Yep.
With a techno-organic virus, and he's dying. The guy who shot him apparently looks like Cable. You want to join us?
Yes.
Yes. So my third son just walked in the room and now is walking back out of the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, Ethan.
Third son.
He hasn't read this?
No.
Okay.
Thanks. And so somebody shot him. They think Cable did it.
Yeah, they all saw Cable.
It was definitely a guy looking like Cable. And then we have Jean Grey and Scott kidnapped by Sinister.
Yes, but through Apocalypse.
By Sinister. Sinister traded, by the 4 Horsemen of Apocalypse, traded some DNA to Sinister for the 2.
For canister DNA.
But they tricked Sinister.
Which we don't find out till the very end.
Apocalypse shows
Spoilers.
up because he gets woken up early and a bunch of stuff. So, did they actually heal Professor X?
Yes, it did.
No, he still got the flu.
How?
After keeping him basically on stasis, fighting him back, Apocalypse went through and then overloaded the virus, so that way Xavier wasn't enough of a food source. And then the technovirus left Xavier because he wasn't a suitable food source, went into Apocalypse, and Apocalypse is not a suitable food source, so the technovirus basically died. But that's what Apocalypse did, is turned it up so that way it has to grow at a rate so fast Xavier doesn't have enough material for that.
I mean, that's smart, but that was risky.
Apocalypse doesn't care.
Apocalypse doesn't care, but Apocalypse saves the day. and Sinister is ultimately the bad guy. Now, to me, Sinister is done sinisterly. I like Sinister. I don't like silly Sinister. I like Sinister.
Doing this again?
Yeah,
Not silly Sinister.
yeah. This Sinister played every side to make things more advantage for himself, advantageous. And he did it well. Just ended up getting screwed in the end.
And I'm fine with that. Apocalypse. We also learned Apocalypse has great technology, but no idea really how to use it. His limited understanding of the technology is enough, but he really doesn't understand how his technology works, which I also found really interesting. I also found X-Men and X-Force and Uncanny X-Men. I like the art, but I'm with you on X-Factor.
Too dark.
It was kind of dark. Now, the teams. So on the Uncanny X-Men, I believe it was Scott Lobdell and Brandon Peterson was the penciler. And, I mean, some of the shots in here, I mean, that was just well done.
Yeah, there's a lot of well done art in these.
It's just well done stuff. X Factor, who was that?
It's like it gives me all of them, but it doesn't tell me who did what.
Yeah, we need one of those timelines. Again.
So you have penciled by Jay Lee, inked by Al Milgrom, colored by Brad Vaughn.
Who wrote?
Peter David.
Peter David. Okay, so Jay Lee did the art, right? But as the inks were really dark on it. I guess it fit the theme of the comic, but not my cup of tea either. But Fabian Nicieza, and then was the writer on this with Andy Kubert doing the penciling. And this is on X-Men. And we get some great shots like this one. I mean, look at the team. Look at the team on it. Quicksilver, Iceman, Madrix, Colossus, Betty, Polaris, Rogue, Gambit, Jubilee, Wolverine, Feral, or is that Rain? That's Rain, Bishop, and Guido, or Strong Guy, and there's Archangel up in the back there. So, great stuff. I mean, there was a great team. And again, you have the X-Men just trying to figure out what happened. And they're following the trail. You have X-Factor just jumping the gun and going after X-Force.
Yeah, and again, it didn't make a lot of sense to me. But, I mean...
They are a governmental agency that they know Cable runs that team, and they went after Cable. The problem is Feral jumped the gun and attacked, and that caused the whole fight between the two. Kind of shown in here. We got the whole fight between the two teams, and it just went crazy. And it's, you know, it's not really anybody's fault other than the team. One team jumped the gun, and they were all ready. Now, this was done by Fabian Nicieza did the writing, and Greg Capullo did the art. Now, Greg Capullo, great. I love this guy's art, and you know he was very lethal. Oh,
yes.
He did a very nice cameo of lethal art.
Yep, but this one has feet.
But this time with feet. But look at the pockets.
All the pockets.
Look at all the pockets. He's got like pockets everywhere.
And I'm with you where it feels kind of like an homage because that never shows up again, right?
Yeah, it's like one time there. But I mean, look at this Wolverine. That's just great. That's just
I don't
great.
even know what those giant blue things are called.
Which ones?
On Wolverine's face.
Oh, the helmet?
Yeah.
His wings?
Why does Wolverine have wings?
Why do Wolverines have ears?
I mean,
because things need to hear.
Exactly. Hey, Discovery Bay, welcome. So they captured X-Force. Then they decided to band together to figure out where Cable was. And then they go after Apocalypse. There's a nice fight against Apocalypse.
And this is mostly spurred on by Sinister. Sinister is the one that pointed them to Apocalypse and then to and then eventually to Strife. He was the one kind of throwing the X-Men in different areas.
Hey Sam, how you doing? All right, so this is what we're talking about with X Factor.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a great team up here. We have Bishop, Cable, and Wolverine going after Strife, right? but look, the
Well, this one, I think they're actually fighting each other at the time.
they are at their time, but they're some of the stuff that happens here, like strong guy against, or I think forearm against.
Oh yeah, this is the one where Archangel decapitates a man.
Yep.
Kamikaze.
You can actually see his head bouncing. Not here. It's bouncing. Ping, ping, ping. So yeah.
Like a cue ball.
So yeah. And this wasn't him under Apocalypse. This was just Archangel, flaring his wings, and just chopping the dude's head off.
Which, by the way, he does not get arrested for, although X-Force gets arrested for just knowing Cable.
Well, they did attack first.
Nope, that was Squeedo.
No.
Nope, strong guy attacked first.
No, Farrell jumped off you. They're going to attack.
Farrell and Richter were kissing. They were in well acquaintance.
She said they're going to attack. She jumped, and he's like, Farrell, don't. And then the whole fight started.
No, Farrell was cool, man. Guido started that.
I thought Richter was gay.
He is.
But he was kissing
Yes.
a werewolf? Girl werewolf?
I mean,
wait, does the species change it?
I don't know.
no.
I have no idea. All right, so but the art in here was just it's really dark. I mean, again, I guess it fits the theme. It's not terrible. There's some points in here where it's actually pretty good. There's other parts where it's just
and that's the thing. These comics, I actually like how they designed the characters. But if just scenes weren't so dark all the time,
But yeah, and this is one of my favorite covers from the series. I just like that. Havoc, Cable, Storm, Wolverine up front, Psylocke, and Cannonball. You've got somebody from like each of the team on that cover. And it just kind of shows us they're finally teaming together to battle the actual problem.
Once they figured out Strife was there and Strife had Scott and Jean.
We kind of messed up.
And I've got to say, Bishop, Wolverine, and Cable was a great pairing in this comic, and it kind of different versions of each other. They're all similar people and how they're written, but nuances, and it was cool.
I mean, when Bishop showed up, he was willing to kill mutants, and they were basically, you can't do that. And he's like, no, I'll do it anyway. And then I know you really want to be part of the team. You're stuck here. You got to do it our way. Yeah. So, but he has no compunction about, and apparently Archangel should be on this team.
Archangel probably should.
Now that would be an X-Force team. And then this is look at this. Look at Wolverine down for the count there.
Yeah.
He was not immortal, not shrug off all the damage. He got hurt. Give me a moment. Hold on, my ribs are shattered, punctured a lung.
Yeah, give him a second. He'll be back up. But
he'll be back up.
They don't have a second.
But they take that time, right? All right, then we come up with them getting to. Oh, sorry. That's a good one too.
Okay, guys, I got a death injury. Just give me
Psylocke and Wolverine. I don't know what's going on there, but that's a good drawing. All right, now when they get up to the force field, right? Yeah, it's one of our favorite storylines, Sam. So he wanted to do it. He beat me to it. But yeah, they get up to the force field, and then what happens?
Well, this is supposed to be the great revelation.
Now,
and with hindsight, we
know.
So
Strife is in there with Jean Grey and Cyclops. Mm-hmm. That's it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Cable shows up with
Havoc, Polaris,
and
Cannonball. No, was it Speedball or Cannonball? I think
it's not Speedball because he's not in here.
It's Cannonball.
Speedball is a different team.
I keep getting their names mixed up. You can't name them the same thing.
Cannonball. Okay, so they show up. They get to this big shield around the center device that whatever Strife is doing, and what happens?
Only Cable and Havoc can get through, and Havoc barely gets through.
So what we figured out is basically it had to be of Scott Summers' bloodline. It doesn't explain how Jean Grey got through unless she was in there before it went up.
Oh, yeah, she was.
But that means Cable is Scott's bloodline. And, of course, Havoc is his brother. So, Vulcan could have come through.
Yeah.
And according to the new X-Men comic, Wolverine's part of the family now. He could have just go ahead and gone on through that too. All right. So they get in there and you find out Stripe's the big bad guy, right? And we have that final battle.
Which was a cool fight. I mean, their fighting was cool. I just don't like Stripe as a villain. He too much of a child.
He didn't really get raised by.
Yeah, but I mean, their fight was really cool.
All right. Can you imagine your son and your son's clone fighting each other to the death? Who would you root for?
The clone.
The clone? Seriously? All right. So we know what we're going to root for when his clone comes around.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, my clone's probably better than me.
Oh, you turned to one of the best pages right off the bat.
Yeah. So a lot of fight scene here. Fantastic stuff, man. I mean, look at that over there. With he just looks the foreshortening on his arms, and of course his knee looks massive. But let me see. Yeah, Greg Capullo. Man, he does it. Look at this.
It's a beauty.
And then by the end, Stripes ripped off all his clothes.
Okay.
And now he doesn't have all the pockets. But it kept him alive. So all the pockets there did massive face problems. All right, so there's a huge there's a huge fight between the two. How does it end, Jay? How does it end? Tell us.
Well, Cable is blowing himself up, and Scott has to send them forward in time, I believe.
Wait, himself or his clone?
All right, so as you see, Cable pushes the button that says
self-destruct.
I probably can't read it. Auto self-destruct. All right, so he's going to blow himself up and take Strife with him. And it's a big bomb. So he's like, Summers, activate the vortex. So here's the dad. Has to send his son and his son's clone, who he knows is about to blow himself up, into the future, right?
Again.
This is some Back to the Future stuff, man.
No, that's one thing you do not want it to be, is a son of Cyclops. If you're a kid of Cyclops,
you better lose hope.
she was adopted by Cable. It's Rachel that was the other child. Got to teach these youngins they don't. At least I may be wrong, but that's what I think. All right, so that is the Executioner storyline. This is a great storyline. If you haven't gotten this in trade paperback, or if you don't have the copies, this is one of those things that we like to pull out of the long box every so often, just read over again, because it was really well done.
And like there's several character arcs that were well done throughout it. Scott's character arc was fun. Cable was fun. Archangel had a good character arc dealing with Apocalypse.
Chop the dude's head off.
Yeah, and
talk about character growth.
Exactly. And so there's a lot of Cannonball has a lot of character arc through this. It has to face the fact that he's abandoning his team.
And the writers on it: Scott Lobdell, Fabian Nicieza. Some of my favorite writers of X-Men are there. Greg Capullo, Andy Kubert, some of my favorite artists are on these books. So it was some really good stuff. You have not read. Is there anything else that you want to point out? What was your high point?
The high point of that, I trying to think.
Don't mix up X Factor and X Force.
Yeah, don't do that.
You should go back and watch those videos.
I think the high point was in the final fight where you have Cable telling Scott to send them forward in time, because that has some emotional weight behind it.
There was. And the way the artist did it and the way the writer wrote it, where they panel, and you see the countdown, panel, and you see the agony, not in just Scott's face, but Jean Grey's face, as they have to count this down, and he's knowing he's about to kill his kid. That has some emotional, weight to it.
That and they've been mind tortured for a while, watching children die.
The life of one over sucks, but
And then my high point probably was I've always liked Strong Guy as a character. I think he's a tortured character who tries to make the best of his life, but the dude's always in agony. The dude's always in pain, but he tries to make the best of what his and he comes across in this as a very grown up, positive influence. A lot of times, there's a point where Strong Guy's fighting Proudstar, and Proudstar's bah, 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 bah. And Guido's like standing there just taking it. And then Guido just like pops him back, and Proudstar's like, Warpath just flies off. He goes, "Don't you know I store kinetic energy?
Yeah.
Really punching me is the way to go." So it was just, and he just cracks me up. And then his interaction with Jubilee, where she is like yelling insults at X-Force. And Guido just kind of picks her up like this and throws her out the door and says, "Grow up, little girl." Along that line.
I like Jubilee's character throughout the story, especially as like a supporting character for Bishop, or because she had lots of interesting things to say.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan when they turned her into a vampire, and she had a baby with Dracula. All right, so what was your high point, E?
I like everything everyone has said, and I don't have any opinions.
It's probably because he hasn't read it.
Something I did.
Yeah, well, you haven't read it recently either.
Something I found out after this. Do you know what was in the canister Strife gave?
What was actually in the canister?
Yeah,
no,
because it is hinted. It is the legacy virus. That is how the legacy virus got introduced.
Really?
Yes,
I didn't know that.
And so that makes Strife a better villain, but it's never mentioned at all until later in the comics.
And then, of course, we know how the legacy virus ends up with Colossus injecting himself.
Yeah, lots of bad stuff.
All right, so we are
self-medication.
We are back to the comic hall.
Woo!
We got a few more minutes because we want to cut this to an hour or so. I've got to go through this quick because I've got the other 3/4 of a Longbox to go through. I had a goal. All right, so Dial H for Hero, number 483. So I haven't read a lot. I haven't read any Dial H for Hero, but they look really interesting.
Just because I'm curious, I want to look.
Problem is, I cannot find a lot of information on this series out there. So I know they just relaunched it. Dial H for Hero 485.
What series is this? What series?
It's called Dial H for Hero.
Yeah, no, what series?
I mean, what series?
Yeah, what year?
I don't know. 19. Here.
Like 4, 5.
1982 is this book, and it's number 489.
Each time it's used, the dial causes its possessor to become a superhero with a different name, costume, and powers. These superheroes are usually new, but on one occasion, it caused them to become a duplicate of existing heroes.
Like Superman became Doc Vision, Batman, Minuteman, Flash, Mannerite, Marionette.
So Dial H for Hero number 489.
Aquaman became Terra Firma.
Batman 302. Who are the Wirehead Killers?
Who are the Wirehead Killers?
I have no idea.
They're related to the Copperheads.
Wow.
Wow.
All right, Batman. I believe this is 311 with a special guest star of Batgirl. Now listen, that's not the Batgirl I know. Why is she cowering in fear? Again, it's probably just the era.
We're also not referring to the new CW.
Batwoman. All right.
Yeah, come on.
315.
Nice.
Danger on the Wing. So a glider criminal. They're battling gliders.
Oh, that is
Gotham's
Batman.
greatest robbery begins in the air. Will it end in death?
Oh, you can't leave us hanging like that.
Look at the skyline in that. That looks so just.
That was a great line.
Batman 337. The dad jokes are going. A classic glide off. Yeah.
So good.
Good job aggressively relaxing. Yes. We are full of dad jokes, and they're not even, past 21 yet. All right, so, I feel for their kids. My grandkids are just going to have it terrible. 337.
Batman on ice.
Where walked? Are those called bat skis? The bat skis.
I wanted to get a bat hockey stick.
Where walks the snowman, but he's not really walking.
Where glides? Where
the glides, the snowman. All right, Batman 342. Man-Bat is back.
Reverse Batman.
Now, Man-Bat is now on the Justice League Dark. So he's turned into a good guy. And actually, it's actually been pretty good so far. If you haven't seen that. Batman 343.
All right, now I can't make fun of this cover. This one's actually
That's a pretty good cover.
You mean he's looking sharp?
Wow, I see your point. You really got a handle on that one, didn't you? Steel yourselves, kids. This is only going to get worse.
The puns are flying like daggers.
We're all a little bit sharp.
You've used it already.
I used
You passed the point. Introducing a startling new villain presented by Gary Conway. Extra, Robin, the Teen Wonder in the Madhouse.
I think we're in the madhouse.
Yes, we have gotten a little slap silly. 344, Batman. The Monster
My Sweet.
Monster My Sweet. Ugh. All right. Batman 346. You're mad, Two-Face. This is carrying your split personality too far. He actually designed his room and then stands in the middle of it.
They're all in the same room.
They're all actually in the same room, probably. Half a here.
You can only stand in that one line.
Yes.
I can't move. I can't fight you over there.
It'll ruin the
Forward,
joke.
backwards.
Batman 347. A tale of two boys in the inner city. The shadow of the Batman. That was pretty good.
He can flip.
That looks pretty good. Well, I mean, Two-Face always flipped the coin and shot the gun. So, all right, Batman 374. Again, those are just, I got all these at a flea market
Peril is the penguin.
for like $1 each. So it was really I think it was a really good deal. So we actually went to the flea market and we spent a couple hours just looking through this guy's box. He just boxes and boxes and boxes of back issues.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of them are from the early 80s, late 70s. Some good stuff. Batman 375. Oh no, Robin, what have I done to you? Oh, Robin is now frozen. And it's Batman's fault. So Jason Todd was not the first Robin that died. Or did he not die? We'll have to read it to find out. All right.
Two-Face has to rob banks to satisfy his obsession with interior decoration.
Batman 376. Now E is just cracking himself up all by himself.
No, he's reading comments.
Oh, thank you. Two-Face has to. Yeah, exactly. That probably would have costed to decorate your room like that.
If he had just gone to like TLC or something and gotten a TV show,
Separate flooring.
Yeah, a makeover show. No, I want this half of the room to be this way.
Extras.
I found Waldo.
Huh.
All right, Batman 379. A war with the minions of the Mad Hatter. All right, wait a minute.
Isn't the joke that they all just have bad hats?
They all have hat, but that's not a hat.
That's
That's a beanie. That's not a hat.
It goes on your head.
There's a lot. Oh, sweatband would go on your head. It's not a hat.
No, that would go.
You could put a stocking on your head. You've put underpants on your head. It's not a hat.
That time it was a hat.
Yeah. So their planet of hats is literally hats.
A lot of Batman villains would live normal lives if they just found the right career. It's true.
The Penguin. The Penguin, if he was just a conductor.
No, he'd be a umbrella salesman.
Oh yeah,
Batman
Oh, yeah.
380. Now look at this dude. That guy looks cool. I don't know who that is, but he actually looks pretty cool. Is this the end of Batman?
No.
Yes.
And of course, Robin is tied up again.
Oh yes.
Batman 381. Batman Two-Face.
All right, so
It's a face-off.
we know who's the bad Batman because he has a mustache and a beard.
He has a goatee. I don't know if you can see that,
that.
but that Batman has a goatee.
Yeah, and only 4 abs.
We know he's the evil Batman.
And only 4 abs.
You know he's bad.
So Batman 387. Now this, unfortunately, I was kind of irritated, but this is the second appearance of Black Mass. I was like, oh, Black Mass, first appearance. Nope. Second appearance. This is as a full appearance here, but I guess his first full appearance was at the end of the 386,
You got juked.
which is a bummer because, with the whole Birds of Prey movie coming out, maybe it'd have been worth more to
It's
the
the first
100
real
people, to the
appearance.
100 people or so that watched that movie.
What?
388. Batman versus the Mirror Master versus Captain Boomerang.
No, that's just straight up Mirror Master versus Captain Boomerang.
Yes, and Batman gets caught in the middle.
What?
Stuck in the...
That's copyrighted.
I didn't sing it all. But everybody else sang it in their own heads.
Yeah.
All right, so Batman number 391, Death comes... No, this looks like the same dude from before. But now he's holding Death's scythe. That looks like the same chick that was tied to the chair with Robin.
Nope. 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 Yeah.
I bet if we read the comics, that would make sense.
If we... Yeah. Here, put these back in order. Have fun.
Go.
All right, 379.
Russian roulette.
Yeah, I wonder if his Kevlar would take care of that.
44? Probably not.
Green Lantern, Green Arrow, number 108.
Oh no. The Flash is wearing yellow.
Are they fighting Batman? Oh, that's not Batman. Who we've got to learn who and what it is before it destroys the
Well, the
world.
bottom half is Flash. The top half
That's
is...
not Flash.
What are you talking
Oh,
about?
that bottom half, that dude.
Yeah.
Nah. Well,
Yeah.
I can see what you're saying.
Well, the Emerald Crusaders learned the third identity of Replicon. His name is Replicon.
And he's replicating Hawkman, Batman, and the Flash.
And Justice League, JLA number 94. JLA number 94.
My goodness.
All right. John Byrne and Chris Claremont.
Woo.
All right, so let's try to get through a couple more, and then we'll end the stream for tonight.
Only a couple more.
Here, fix that.
Only a couple more picks out 50.
We'll go fast. All right, JLA number 98, because these are a little bit newer. JLA 119.
Yeah.
Warlord. Well, that's not newer. Number 55.
He's in Atlantis?
Yep. And prehistoric Atlantis.
So before the Meganance, I got it.
Warlord number 11.
You should just do a comic review of the entire arc now that you have a lot of them.
That's interesting, but do you see what he has in his hand?
A gun.
A gun? A flintlock?
What?
No, it's a revolver.
Oh. No.
No, it's not a revolver. That actually is a... Yeah. That's like, looks like a Luger almost.
It's a gun.
All right. Number 10.
It's a magical artifact.
Hey, Conquistadorks. What's up? Yes, Warlord number 10. I actually got like a lot of the run from the thrift store. Yeah, I actually. Conquistadorks, are you on the back of my comic? But yeah, we got a huge run from the flea market. So I have not read any of Warlord
Yeah.
yet, but we will be reading it because we bought it, and that's what we do. The Tales of the Lost World Warlord, number 28.
I'm glad we had that bag and board off the other day because we got to do all of these.
Yes, I actually challenged 2 of my kids to who could bag and board 100 bags of boards the fastest.
Yeah, we just got him in the mail, and he opened it up.
He lost.
Yeah,
The
because
12-year-old girl won. She was so much fat.
You make her do slave work all the time. She's used to it.
I would not count.
Number 29. Warlord number 29.
Just kidding.
The Return of Gladiator.
And the Hounds from Hell.
And the Hounds from Hell. All right. Warlord number 3. You know, those guys actually kind of look like Deadwood. The Critical Role.
Yep.
Deadwood.
Undeadwood. From the first episode.
Oh, the snakes.
Yes. Cole the Conqueror, number 1. Nice wraparound cover. Well,
Oh, there's a lot of tigers.
Yeah.
is that a tiger girl? I don't know. Can't tell. All right, All-Star Squadron number 1.
You saw it too? Sweet.
Yeah, that was crazy. And then like I woke up from the dream and the gun was back. I was like, I don't know what's going on.
I don't trust it.
I don't like snakes already. I would not have climbed in the pit. I can tell you that. All right, Secret Society of Supervillains, number 14.
The Secret Society of Supervillains.
Yeah, Matt is no Indiana Jones.
Oh, have you guys watched the second episode yet?
No, I haven't. But yeah, your horse handling. I rolled it 2. The New Warriors Annual, number 3.
Now, to be fair, there's like a 75% chance of failure for like the base roll.
Outsiders, number 1. This is when they revamped the team of Judd Winnick, and this was actually a pretty good series. Squadron Supreme, number 3. I'm going through these pretty quick because I'm going to wrap up in like 2.5 minutes. Trying to stay on time. Is it? Let me go back.
Just go.
I have not read this before, and I don't think I've actually even taken it out of the bag.
It just lost $40 in worth.
John Buscema did the pencils. Yep. And Joe Jusko did the cover. Yeah, this is a very nice cover. I don't know, a lot of wraparounds. Was it 1983? Yeah, 1983. All right, put that in the bag and board. Just we've already taken it out.
We got like hundreds of them, literally.
Squadron Supreme number 2. Hyperion against the Scarlet Centurion.
I haven't read all those Squadron Supreme, but the newer ones were interesting.
The new Teen Titans, yeah, they were, and I think they were a Mac series actually. So they were like more of an adult themed.
Yeah.
Number 14, the new Teen Titans. Action Comics number 546. That's a lot of heroes on that cover.
It's
got
Titans,
Justice League America, the new Teen Titans, Superman, all starring in Action Comics.
You got Red Storm, you got Cyborg.
Action Comics number 646. Superman looks like he's getting blasted with snot. Somebody sneezed on him.
Was it you?
You watch out. My sneeze is acid.
Excalibur number 8. So recollecting, I had a lot of Excalibur. I lost it. So I'm recollecting Excalibur is one of the series I'm trying to complete right now.
Okay.
Excalibur number 11.
Speaking of, have you read the new comic that for Dawn of X, Excalibur?
It hasn't come out yet.
Oh.
I think it's this next week. It's Wednesday, I think it comes out. I will be reading it, yes. So Hawk and Dove. I really did enjoy the series when it first came out. Hawk and Dove, number 3. That's Kestrel. And then Hawk and Dove, number 4.
Buck Rogers, the board game.
I love watching and looking at these old cover at the back of the covers, like all the old advertisements. All right, so
we're in an era of TSR right now.
So, what did we learn today?
What we learned is we can only make it through half a short box. I have 7 more short boxes, a long box, another long box, and another half short box to go through of just the new stuff. And I haven't actually read all of it yet. I actually have 2 short boxes that we've already reviewed, and I'm reading through those now. And then I'm also scanning them and putting them into my inventory. And then as soon as I get all this processed, these guys are going to join me on Let's Sort the Comics back into their series. It's going to take like all week. We're going to take
an entire floor.
We're going to have to take months of work off.
Yeah. Well, idea. What if sometime in the future?
Yes, we definitely need to do some organizing.
Sometime in the future, we do like a charity live stream, like a 12-hour just
sort. Just watch us sort comics.
Watch us sort. You talk about comics you pull out.
It's only like 32 short boxes at the moment.
Yeah, we have
recorded short boxes.
I don't publish that number too often because the wife still thinks it's like 10. I hide them in the closet. All right. But that's it for this week, guys. Thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Any announcements?
Don't forget, don't mix up X Factor and X Force.
Yeah. Don't mix up X Factor and X Force. That's really important. Jay, tell them about the new series that you have going on.
So this week I'm going to be having another pull list comic coming out. So Thor, and then I'm doing Critical Role Volume 1, Thor, which I'm going to have a lot of fun with because I enjoy the writers. So, and the show.
Just talking about grog.
And I am finishing up. Do your grog voice.
I would like to rage.
So, and then our Tiberius Stormwind.
Stalin Short Hot.
Shot hot.
All right, so he is our local voice actor. All right, I'm still going through DC 52. It's not the new 52. It was the 52 before the new 52. Basically, the reason we had to do the new 52. But yes, I'm still in that. I'm on week, I think, 11 and 12 coming up. And I'm also starting a Dark Phoenix saga. I like to rage. A Dark Phoenix saga starting next week. We'll have some Dark Phoenix stuff. I'm going to go through the whole Dark Phoenix saga because I had to beat him to it.
I can't wait to watch his videos.
And E will be having another Coffee with E, drawing and Coffee with E sometime.
Yes,
coming up.
Gotta edit that one.
Because he's like, I'm 16.
I don't feel like drawing.
My tablet broke. And then we got super busy.
I started Patreon.
But in this episode, I hope in this episode of your morning drawing and Coffee with E, that he actually shows the new logo that he is actually designing.
Yes. Did you finish it?
Into the bionic arm.
Mm-hmm. See, that was supposed to be a secret.
Well, then don't tell me secrets. Tell me. It's supposed to be a secret.
I did.
This has been redacted.
Never mind. We're going to cut that part out.
No, we're not.
It's great. I actually really love it, and I'm really excited about it. So thank you all for joining us, and we will see you next week on you guys forgot our name? Here in a long box.
Oh. I thought you were asking for the date. I'm like, it would be the 3rd, I think.
I thought you were having like an aneurysm.
He's like, is that okay? I should call 911? Yeah, we'll see you again here in Longbox Diving. Have a good weekend.
See you.